Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on Superman and Lois Season 2, and this is going to be my trailer breakdown for episode 12 for this season, the fourth final episode, otherwise entitled Lies That Bind. But of course, before we get into anything else, let's actually watch that trailer.
You've been keeping this huge secret from me.
Lana, I'm sorry.
Clark being Superman is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more you need to know.
They have no one left over there to protect them. They're gonna need our help.
Can't save everybody.
Well, I have to try.
Superman and Lois, new episodes Tuesday, May 31st. Free next day, only on the CW app.
So last episode was a pretty big episode in regards to like Superman's character, I guess, but also maybe the influence of the Bizarro World on Superman as well. Where we got the carry on from last episode where the Bizarro Jonathan was now on Earth Prime, was targeting like his doppelganger or normal self to us in the form of Jonathan in order to merge with him. But of course we had Jordan intercept him, and then of course Superman intervene as well. And well, Jonathan was just target number one throughout the entire episode. But also Lana got involved in order as like a bit of a bait for Superman, as well as the fact that the Bizarro Lana was going to come over and merge with our Lana as well. So, you know, you're seeing Ali's plan start to play out, but we're still not 100% sure what it is and how it's going to play out come the end of the season. But we're starting to see the little baby steps towards it now that they can just sort of freely travel between the Earths, and they do have, they had the pendants to do what they wanted to do. But of course, one of the issues last episode was, about withholding the truth or letting it out and the consequences to both sides of that. And we see, well, the truth come out at the end of the episode, and I guess we'll see the consequences maybe in this episode. But Clark does reveal to Lana that he is Superman. And one of my favorite scenes in the entire show and in any sort of like Superman form of media in general, one of my favorites. And I just loved it, and based off the response from people, most of you guys did as well. But yeah, before we get into the actual breakdown of the trailer and stuff throughout the video, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various thoughts, opinions, theories, predictions leading into this. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say. And of course, if you enjoyed the video, looking forward to this episode and just want to show your overall support, want to drop a like on the video to do all that. Now, we of course have some bad news tied into this trailer breakdown because, as the trailer does say, we are on another few weeks break until May 31st. No episodes until May 31st. I think they're just doing a bunch of reruns pretty much of other episodes from earlier in the season up until May 31st. However, as I did say in my review yesterday, the silver lining around that break is that when we do return from it, we have no more breaks for the season. There's 4 straight episodes in 4 straight weeks to end the season off when we come back, which I would prefer it that way. Sure, it sucks we're going for like almost like another month, like 4 weeks or something like that. But at least when we come back, we get all those episodes in a row, and it's probably better to end that way than maybe air 2, then have another break, and then air the final 2. I'd rather them all in a row, and we can just have a bit of a break, recharge, and get excited for how the season's going to end. Now, there is no synopsis or promo images for this episode yet because the episode is so long away. We'll probably get them in like a week or 2 before the episode airs. Or maybe like a week or 2 before the episode airs, maybe. So in about 2 or 3 weeks time from now, we might do a video on them if they're interesting enough. But yeah, we can't put them in this video. But yeah, in regards to the trailer, we do actually, kick off with the follow-on from Clark's reveal to Lana that he is Superman, which I thought would be the case. Not the case, but the case. And I would assume the episode probably picks up from right where we left off last episode, in the middle of that road with Clark in the air, Lana looking up going, what the hell? Now, Lana probably is like overcome with not only like a ridiculous amount of questions, but just emotions about this as well. And it wouldn't surprise me too much if she starts to piece together in her head, like, just in her memory and stuff, all the times that Clark randomly just went away or was gone for random periods of time. I guess, for example, the last month. Like Clark just came back and was like, oh, whatever. But for Lana, he'd been gone for a month and all this stuff had happened. And she's just going to think back to all those points and, connect that, oh, that was when he was doing Superman stuff. And even when she saw him on TV and Clark, like everyone else was there, but Clark wasn't there or something along those lines. So I wonder if we'll get that at the beginning of the episode. And like, I think if I was in Lana's position, I'd probably be doing that as well, just piecing all these different things together. But that isn't the only issue. Lois does say that Clark being Superman is only the tip of the iceberg. You got to head into the water still. You're above water now. Wait until you get underwater and see the rest of the iceberg. And of course, that is really due to all the Bizarro World stuff going on. And that Lana is one of the top targets for merging. We got Jonathan, who's target number one for Bizarro Jonathan, but now Bizarro Lana's coming in. And of course, she's not going to merge with Clark. She's going to merge with her outlook, well, the other Lana. Now, obviously, that was attempted last episode, and we actually do see Bizarro Lana in Ali Alston's office on the Bizarro World, and I would assume we're going to actually get some conversation with this merged Ali. Like, really, when we saw Ali last time, she'd merged, but I think all she did was throw the pendant to Jonathan, and that was it. We didn't really get a proper conversation or see potentially if there's like a power upgrade with Ali, because she didn't have any powers before. She just had the pendant, while Lana and Jonathan on the Bizarro World had powers. So does Ali have powers now, or is it something else? So I think in this scene with Bizarro Lana in Ali's office, we might get some suggestion or just a full-on explanation of that. Now, last episode, we just saw the Bizarro Lana run off after being stabbed by Natalie with the X-Kryptonite. So I'm going to assume when she ran away, she just jumped back in the portal to go back to the Bizarro World to give Ali like an update on what's going on, maybe ask for some backup. Now, the thing around that is that who else is there to back her up? Because we'll get to someone in a second, but is there other powered people that might be able to help her out? I'm not too sure. It's about giving people powers like what most likely had happened to Lana. So we might see that happen. I'm not too sure. But speaking of someone who does have powers on the Bizarro World and is still alive, we do see Tal-Rho. And obviously you'd have to think it's the Bizarro Tal-Rho. And it's someone offering their hand out to him. It is hard to tell who it is exactly that would be doing this. But maybe it's one of the Bizarro, like, good guys, like Lois, Jordan, Sam, someone like that. Maybe even Anderson if he actually isn't dead. Like, people are saying, oh, Pagey's dead. But, like, I don't know. It's sometimes hard to tell. It's sometimes hard to tell if someone's dead on a show. Like, I know his chest got crushed, but he had powers at the same time. Maybe he could, like, rapidly heal. I don't know. But obviously, the Bizarro Tal-Rho turned on his own wife, Lana, to help our Superman. So he is like starting to see the errors in his ways and trying to do right, because it really wasn't a decision that he thought of himself to go help Ali. He was sort of pushed there by Lana. So maybe he's trying to do right like he didn't do before, which obviously aided in his brother's downfall. Now, it is interesting this episode is called Lies That Bind, because episode 2 of this season was called The Ties That Bind. And that was the episode in which Tal-Rho pretends to work with Superman and then tries to betray him. Now, maybe this week we see the opposite with Tal-Rho, and that's maybe why we have some similarities in the titles, even though I think lies is going to be maybe like a common thing with a couple of different characters throughout this episode. But as Clark does say to John Henry and Sam, the Bizarro good guys, I guess, don't have anyone protecting them, which wouldn't be the case anymore if Tal-Rho is on their side now. But that isn't for sure. We don't know that 100%. Superman probably wouldn't know that 100% either. But it seems that maybe something is going to go down which puts their lives in danger, or maybe something to do with Ali's plan will maybe like eliminate them or something like that. Like maybe when the Earths are supposed to like merge together, the people on Earth Prime or our Earth, or like just where, our Superman stuff takes place, that takes like precedence, and the Bizarro World people just die. And that's maybe why the Bizarro World people are merging with their other selves, so they survive, and then they take over the lives, if you want, or the place on our world from the person that they merge with. Like maybe we find out in this episode what's going on there, and they explain that a bit, because we, as I said before, we don't really know 100% what Ali's motive is, or not motive, but what Ali's like end goal is specifically, and how that's going to play out and how it's going to look. So maybe that gets sort of explained in some way in this episode. And of course, this will be the first episode back in that final 4-episode run leading up to the end of the season. So it wouldn't surprise me too much if maybe that's the way they've structured it. So this is like it's almost like a 4-part finale, if you want to call it. And this is like the starting point. Now, one thing that's interesting is that we do see Natalie, Jordan, and Jonathan in the mines. And at first, it's like, what are they doing down here? And I was like, oh, wait, they're probably looking for X-Kryptonite for Natalie to power her project, like what was teased at the end of last episode. Now, surely they just don't hand it into the mines and there's no weird stuff that goes on. I am very curious whether maybe it could be Bizarro Lana that comes out of the portal again, or maybe it's an army. Maybe it's, as I said, Bizarro Lana goes back to Ali's office looks to be on the Bizarro World. So maybe Lana comes back with some backup. Maybe that's what happens. I'm not too sure, but it wouldn't be too surprising if that happened. And then unfortunately, Natalie, Jordan, and Jonathan are in the mines at the time, and Jordan's the only one with powers that can do anything. So, and especially if they come with X-Kryptonite, not X-Kryptonite, sorry, just normal kryptonite, which they might be powering themselves up with, that's going to be lethal to Jordan. Now, obviously, one of the questions that's still ongoing, and I don't know, it's still hard. I don't know if I really can give an answer to it, but people are still questioning whether Ali is actually the big bad or Ali gets betrayed by one of her own people. I have no idea. And there's still 4 episodes to go, and so much can happen in 4 episodes of a show. So much could happen in just 2 episodes. So you just don't know what could happen if there is an actual twist there. We don't know if Ali has a backup plan or like some secret weapon or something that ends up turning on her because it's actually like a sentient weapon, like a, I'm not saying it's like a Doomsday, but something like a Doomsday, like an actual living weapon, like a living being that could do some damage that she has, you know, kept up somewhere. You know, we don't know. I'm going to assume she actually is just the big bad. It's about stopping her plan, and maybe there's some consequences to stopping that no matter what, that which then we see the follow-on in maybe season 3 or something like that. But at the same time, I wouldn't be 100% sure whether Ali is actually the big bad or not. I'm just going to assume she is. But yeah, as I said, got a bit of a break until the next episode. Hopefully there might be some stuff that we can do some bonus videos on over the next couple of weeks while the show, or next few weeks, might I say, while the show's off. But yeah, I think the wait will be worth it in some regard, just because we get those episodes all in a row to finish off the season. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show your support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions and everything went over, any theories, predictions, all that. I'm always curious to read them. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, and I will catch you guys later. Goodbye.